honey, welcome back. So I'm trying to slick my hair down, so that's why I have on a head wrap today. Okay, so I thought I would use the Nudetrals palette from Cosmic Beauty because it's probably my least favorite Cosmic Beauty palette. So I want to use it because, yeah, just to see how I'm feeling about it. I've used it a couple of times, but honestly, I don't pull for it very much because I'm like, want. But I think I'm going to just go ahead and play around with it. So, I am going to start with my Colored Rain paint base eyeshadow base, and I don't know if you've heard, but Colored Rain is going out of business, if not already out of business. Things are at such a deep discount. I ordered some more of the paint base, and I think they were like $2 each. So yeah, I think it's pretty much whatever is left is on the website. So I can't say that there's a lot. But it's really unfortunate, you know, like small businesses especially have just not been doing well. Hello, I feel that. So I'm just putting this on this Rose and Ben C31 brush, and I've got a mirror right here, so oh, I put that a little low. It's on like my lash. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, okay. Oopsies. This has been like such a week. Like, I had a presentation for a psychology of women course. It went really well. It was actually at the university I used to work at, and the lecturer is someone I used to be their clinical supervisor for like years. So she asked if I could come talk to her class, and it went really well. I honestly showed up and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk to you all about, but I'm just going to start talking, which is what I do. And so I get there, and there was so I spoke at the 11 o'clock class, and there was someone else who spoke at the 10 o'clock. So, you know, we each kind of came in and talked about our own thing, our like specialties and such. So I talked about, you know, working with women a lot, psychology of women course, working with a lot of women of color, a lot of queer women, a lot of immigrants, children of immigrants, kind of everything, religious minorities, sort of everything. So I was talking about that, and then talking about my expertise in working with PTSD and survivors of child abuse and sexual assault. So one thing I talked about is like taking care of yourself. I know like self-care is it's like the big thing these days. But I think my supervisee had said that a lot of the students were like, I'm gonna be fine, I'm not gonna be like affected by anything. And I was like, I'm affected by stuff a lot. Like, you learn how to kind of separate that distance, put a boundary around your emotions a bit, but like, it still affects you. I was like, there have been times where I've had to go to a colleague's office and just be like, oh my gosh. There have been times where I've come home and just eat some ice cream. And there have been times where I've had to pull over the car and cry. Because some of the things I hear, it's just terrible. And it makes me just like dislike people and dislike the world. And so, yeah, I was like, you're gonna be affected by things like... Yeah, I was also like, whatever you're struggling with is definitely going to come into the room. Like, if you're struggling with something, with like a family issue, all of a sudden you have a client who's experiencing the same thing. So I was trying to bring some reality to it, which is typically how I talk during my lectures. Because sometimes people are like, it's amazing. And I'm like, girl, no, it's not. There's sometimes I don't like it. I want to be a ballerina instead. So they also asked, like, what, I think it was like what I wish that I would have known going into private practice, or like something. And I was like, well, things that I appreciated knowing was that I need to put away a certain amount of funds for taxes. They tax small businesses out the wazoo, like 30, 40 something% of your income. So I was really happy that somebody was like, put aside this 30% or more. And the realization that if I don't work, I don't get paid. That part really sucks. So, you know, it makes it harder to like take vacations and say, anyway, you don't want to hear about this, but going to the thing, right? So I had to park somewhere I'm not familiar. I worked at that place for over 8 years, 9 years. And so I parked in one spot, but the lecture was on a totally different part of the campus, which I was kind of familiar with, but I was now a visitor, right? So I had to park like on the roof or something. Couldn't figure out how to get out the parking garage. Okay, that took a couple of times going up and down in the elevator. Then I get out the elevator and I'm trying to figure out where the building is. Even when I was on campus, I didn't know where stuff was. Like, I knew kinda, but I was still like, I'd have to be like, okay, that's where it is. And it's a big campus, okay? That's my story and I'm sticking to it. But child, so I'm just like walking, and why did I fall? I like stepped off of some uneven, like concrete or something, but it was sort of like I ended up just like falling to my knee as if I was like proposing to somebody. But in the process, you know how you can have those little things on the back of your phone where you can put your wallet? Child, that popped off. Don't know where it is. And it's bright pink. I don't know where it is. I couldn't find it. So of course I then had to order a replacement license and a replacement like bank card. So like, this is a great start. And it was Monday. So I'm like, this is a great start to a Monday. And so the one thing that got me, this generation, child, everybody done walked right past me. Ain't nobody like, old lady, you okay? No. They just walked on. I don't know if they thought I was just like needling to pick up like a pen or something. Like maybe they didn't realize it. But I got up, brushed off my knee. It was just a little scraped. But I was just like, kids these days, y'all have no kind of respect. But you know what? That leads me into like several stories, because, you know, I was reading the news and I'm just like, are we failing our children? Because there are several instances that I've read about, and these are people committing crimes, right? But I feel like they're not committing them correctly. And so I'm like, are we not teaching kids well? I know that's a weird way to look at it, but I'm like, there is some sort of breakdown in communication. Let me find this story. Matthew Davies. How old is this man? Child, 47 years old. So he's old enough to know better. He decided that he was going to rob a bank. Because, you know, why not? Typically I would go into some of these shades up here, but I think actually I'll just start down here. Maybe I'll start with this shade right here. That is called Lust. Somebody is jamming. Okay, so, yeah. And I'm using a Refer 101. So I'm going to pat that on. Just the shade. And I'm just going to press it into the outer V. They grooving. Anyway, so Mr. Davies, he, where's he at? He's in England. So he went into a bank and he, you know, he's like, I'm holding the bank up or whatever. And he has a pillowcase. Within the pillowcase, he has a meat cleaver. All right. I mean, first of all, I don't even know, do I prefer that it was a clean pillowcase or a soiled one? Because I don't even know. Where you get a meat cleaver? Do people just typically have meat cleavers? Maybe I don't cook enough, but I don't have a meat cleaver. I do have one of those mallets that like the tenderizer thing. Child asked me when the last I used it. So Matthew Davies decides, so he pulls the meat cleaver out of the pillowcase. Then he proceeds to put said pillowcase over his face. Now you would think that he wouldn't do that. But what he also didn't do is he did not cut any eye holes in the pillowcase. Let me go get a pillowcase because I need to demonstrate this. This is a pillowcase that I've had since college. I had Winnie the Pooh themed bed sheets and stuff. I know. I don't even know why. They're just cute. Let me show you what Matthew Davies did. So he pulled the meat cleaver out. This is what he did. And he ain't cut no holes. He ain't cut no holes. He ain't cut no holes in the thing. I mean, if it was this pillowcase, I wouldn't cut any holes in it. But how you gonna go rob a bank and you don't, like, wait? It reminds me of the guy who put the full-on, like, Amazon box on his head. I just feel like if you are going to decide to rob a place, you know, think about it. Oh no, he's in Scotland. It also reminds me of the guy who robbed the bank. But like, what was it? I know for sure I think he wrote the, did he write the note on like a piece of mail? But then as he was driving off, he threw his license and birth certificate out the window. Like, what's happening? I'm not advocating for any sort of crime, but I just feel like if you're gonna do something, do it right. So initially he was given 300 pounds, but he asked for more money or that he would like hurt someone. So he was like bashing on the glass partition with his meat cleaver, and he ended up getting 1,980 pounds. So somebody figured out where he was and they called the police, and they found cash and a pillowcase consistent with what he put over his head. They also discovered a stun gun. I'm flabbergasted because why aren't people thinking through these things? Like, it seems like, has crime gotten worse? I don't know. But I think like shows for like dumb criminals just have lots of content right now. Like, who does that? Like, you couldn't wear like a face mask at minimum. Like, who does it? Oh. No, I don't understand. I'm just feeling like, do a better job. Do a better job. Do a better job. And you got 1,980 pounds. I don't even, how much is that? Hold on. Somebody know for sure. $2,498.36. What you gonna do with that? Listen, stuff is expensive nowadays. You can't do nothing with that, Matthew Davies. And it don't even matter because you about to sit up in somebody's jail. Don't tell nobody that this is the story. Don't tell anybody that this is what happened. Because I'm just tired of these dumb criminals. I can't even focus on what they're doing because I'm like, what? That's what you did? Okay. So I'm just like, what are we teaching people? Why you can't rap something like cleverly? What? These people are crazy. Crazy, first of all, to be like, I'm gonna rob a bank. But second of all, first of all, this is now a federal, wait, is it the same in Scotland? But for the folks who have done it in the US, it's a federal crime. You know, FDIC is what every bank says. This is federal. You're better off not doing that. I mean, it's especially worse, I think, if it's not a significant amount of money. You got 2,000, not even 2,500. You got $2,498.36. Like, dang. You couldn't even get to And then, what? Did he really think he got away with this? Sir, he had to take the pillowcase off his face. That's what he had to do. Why even bring it? I guess you needed something to carry the meat cleaver in. Like, there is no kind of way that I actually understand that. So, how about, let's switch it up. I often tend to stay within, like, the color families, but maybe I will do something different. I'm deciding between this shade here, Glitz, or this shade, Luxe. Let's go with Luxe. See how that looks. Like, I'm just so stuck on that. And could you imagine if it was like me and I had this, like, Winnie the Pooh pillowcase? People would just be like, we know who that is. Actually, I don't use it on my bed because it's, you know, it was for my college dorm. So that was like an extra long twin or something. But it's just like nostalgic. I don't know. It's too cute to get rid of. What? Keep it forever. Unless Winnie the Pooh is problematic. Yeah, everyone and everything is these days. People just can't just stop. Oh, I'm kind of enjoying this. Speaking of enjoying things, like, do you guys enjoy watching my videos? Because I'm getting kind of like, does anybody even care about this? And, you know, it takes time, obvi. Yeah, and I'm trying to be very mindful of my energy, and this sounds so granola, and the energy that I put out to things and the energy I need to save, you know what I mean? Like, running a business is hard, y'all. It is, you know. It's just real hard. And sometimes, like, there are days, being that I am like a trauma therapist, there are days where I'm like, I don't have nothing else to give. Like, not one thing. So then trying to, like, motivate myself to be like, okay, I'm going to do a video. It can be hard. I'm tired. I'm getting old. Okay, I'm deciding between Satin and Radiant. let's go with satin because I have that sort of maroon going on. Let's see how this shows up. So yeah, I've been actually less active on social media, and it's like really nice because I'm just like trying to take the advice that I give to clients of just carving out time for yourself and just like setting limits and boundaries, you know? Like I already have boundaries around time on my phone. Like after a certain time I'm not answering a phone call. Like yeah, there are like certain people who could still get in contact with me, certain people like my mother. But then I'm not just constantly like looking at my phone and everything. And because, you know, especially with my family being in California, like there's a 3-hour time difference. So it's like 6 o'clock there and it's 9 o'clock here. And I'm like, I gotta go to sleep. Yo, this is kind of cute. Okay, nude trolls. All right. I might try to do another look. Let's just put on some foundation and stuff. For the first time ever in my professional life, I didn't wear makeup for a session. Y'all, like I got to my office and I was like, you know what? I have this 8 o'clock client and no, like, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to, because what I tend to do is I get up, shower, all of that stuff, and I just try to hop in the car and go about my business, and I'll do my makeup at work. Yeah, I'm just trying to cut down on how many things have to get done, right? So I'll just sit at my desk and I'll do my makeup. Sometimes I'll do a video. But this time I was like, you know, I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna just have a moment to myself. And I'll listen to this audiobook and just relax, you know? And it was nice. I mean, I was like, can they tell I don't have any makeup on? Probably. They probably can, right? But I was like, listen, you've been seeing me for about 7 years. We're cool enough. Yeah. We are cool enough. But now I've switched the days that I'm going in. I was doing middle of the week, like Wednesday, Thursday. But it was really hard to do that because, you know, I live in Maryland and my office is in DC. And if you're in the area, you understand what that means. My commute is tragic. But having to, like, do that in the morning, then do that in the afternoon or evening, come home, try to get myself together, try to get in bed, and then got to get up early and do it again. Like, honestly, it was terrible. I was like, I cannot stay awake because I would be getting up at like 5:45, and not getting home until like, it would be like 12-hour days. I'm not young and spry. My mother tried to read me because I was like, Mommy, how did I used to do this 5 days a week? And she was like, you were younger back then. I'm like, girl, it was like 4 years ago. Rude. I have gotten to the point where I call my mom girl, but not like, I don't take it too far because I have Caribbean parents and there's a level of respect that never can be breached. But when I'm just playing around, I'm like, girl, but I don't take it too far. I ain't never called my mama by her first name. I'm gonna tell you that much. Shoot. Because I may be an adult, but I don't play with these Caribbean parents. They crazy. They're real crazy. Okay, let's put on a little bit of concealer and such. Maybe, kind of. This is a Dose of Colors concealer. The thing is, like, I like this concealer, but for some reason, like, it has, like, I don't know. It doesn't come out orange, but there's this part there at the top that makes you think it will. Or at least the orangey part is like kind of color correcting. And this is their original concealer. It's a bit thicker. They do have another one now. Yeah. Let that sit for a second. And I want to kind of make things blend a little better. So I'm going to get a brush. This is Wayne Goss number 6. This, I don't remember what, it was from some launch. I don't remember. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going into Bare, B-A-R-E, which is this really light brown. And actually, I think I'm going to go into Nudetrals, which is this one here, and blend on top of that shade Bare. Yeah. Speaking of bears, in California, I don't know, like, I'm just like, I feel like I would be like Florida, and now I'm like California. Like, we're just trying to be the best, always. So, there were these people who, a bear, like, got into their car and, like, messed the hell up out of it, right? And, you know, there are areas of California where there gonna be some bears, all right? That's the thing on our flag, right? So a bear gets in and they mess, it's like a Rolls Royce or something, and there's video of the bear in the car just slashing it about. And they put in a thing to their insurance company, right? But for some reason, the insurance company was like, something ain't right here. So they went out to investigate it. They went out to investigate it because you know, you can't. There's a thing called insurance fraud, right? And you're just not supposed to do that. So let me tell you the names and ages of these people, because, again, old enough to know better. Way old enough to know better. Like, it's not even funny. I don't understand. Get your ish together. I want to give you the ages. Okay, so there's Ruben Tamrazian, 26, youngest of the bunch. Ararat Cherkinian, 39. Vahe Muratkanyan, 32. They're all from Glendale, California. And then Alfaya Zekerman, 39. So we have 26, 32, and 2 of them are 39. And they have been charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy on at least 3 occasions. They did this little thing where they were like, a bear damaged our luxury cars, like these Rolls Royces, yeah. And they were investigating, like, the bear attack, like, what's going on? This don't seem right. Maybe because it was like 3 different incidents. I don't know how they figured it out. But they told their insurance company a bear entered their Rolls-Royce Ghost in Lake Arrowhead. I don't know what kind of car that is, but it sounds expensive and, you know, I mean, Rolls-Royces are expensive, but I don't know what the Ghost, causing an extensive interior damage, and they even provided video footage. The video shows what looks like a furry creature rooting around inside the vehicle, but they took a closer look. Guess what they figured out? Guess. It was a man in a bear costume. Y'all, when I tell you, I have to demonstrate again. Let me get one of my cozy blankets, okay? I'm gonna show you what it looks like when you see the video, cause you can see the video, cause the surveillance video. Imagine me getting into a core. This is what it looks like. Like, you're literally in a bear costume. You're in a bear costume. You don't look like a bear. You look like a human who is in a bear costume. Bears don't have hands and stuff. But honey, they went to the guy's house. First of all, they checked with like a wildlife specialist or something. And he's like, that's definitely a human in a bear costume. And you see, okay, let me go back. You see on like the investigation videos, like the damage that the bear caused, right? Like claw marks and stuff. But I swear to you, have you ever tried to go from the passenger seat into the back seat and you have to like crawl over? That's exactly what it looks like. It just looks like someone wearing like a blanket or a onesie and they're just like climbing over the seat. I was like, hi. You just open the door and close it behind you? Stop it. So the wildlife dude was like, yeah, we saw like six claw marks. Bears have 5. Dear God Jesus, but when you see this bear costume, let me show you the bear costume. Let me see if I can find it. Child. This the bear costume. Can you see that? This the bear costume. Look at this mess. And then it's like handheld claws. It's like handheld claws. Cannot. Why do people be thinking, where did you get this idea? Which one of y'all came up with this? Was the 26-year-old, the 32-year-old, or one of the 39s? Who came up with it, and how did you convince everybody else to go along and be like, this is such a good idea? Stop. Stop. Just stop it right now, okay? I can't. I will not. And then you don't even get rid of the bear costume? Come on. What, you gonna use it for Halloween next year? Jesus Christ. And you just ruined your own luxury car suites. But I don't know. Like, why? Like, why? Just why? You just ruined your own luxury car. And then maybe it's because y'all submitted 3 different things. Like, maybe you should have thought of that. Like, do one and then see, you know, about doing another one in like a year or something. Because, like, I'm not trying to tell people how to do stuff, but I'm going to tell you this much. That don't make no daggone sense. A straight up bear costume. When I said that don't look like a bear in that car, it looks like someone in a bear costume rooting around the car. I'm gonna tell you, it don't make no kind of sense. It don't make no kind of sense, okay? Alright. Like I like to say, obviously, I guess these people had friends. They're each other's friends. But they don't have anyone in the friend group who has a modicum of sense. Not even just a little bit. None of y'all. I almost want to just be like, okay to the 26-year-old. Like, your brain just kind of developed. You know? But 32 and 39, you should have known better. You should have known better. So if the 26-year-old came up with it, y'all should have been like, sir, that's not okay. And if the 32-year-old came up with it, the 39-year-old should have been like, dude, that's not okay. But I'm sort of guessing that the two 32-year or 39-year-olds came up with it, and then the two younger folk were like, okay. Like, now y'all just committed insurance fraud. I don't think that's okay. And first of all, how y'all 32, 39, and 26 and got Rolls Royces? I guess it's California, yeah. Like, sometimes I just feel sorry for the ignorance. Why you do that? What? I'm going to go in with the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. This is a tinted one in 500 medium dark. I would not repurchase. I will not repurchase. Like, I don't feel like it really does anything. In terms, well, it definitely doesn't keep anything matte. It's a hydrating powder. But I don't know that it does anything special outside of being expensive. But let me know if you like it. It's like, I am trying to figure out what powder I'm going to make my like fave powder, because the Givenchy Prisma Libre powder, which I have come to really, really enjoy, they reformulated it, and from all of the reviews, it's like putting highlighter all over your face. So, you know, that whole what is it? Change something if it's already good. You know what I mean? But I'm going to sure use every last bit of this powder. Okay, as I finish everything up, I'm going to tell you one more story. I'm going to, like, trigger warning, that it has to do with spiders. No one gets hurt, but I'm going to say the words. Say some words that relate to spiders. So, if you don't want to hear those, you know, put it on mute and just watch the rest of the look come together. So, you know how all these people are getting caught for smuggling things as they travel from state to state, country to country. Actually, you know what? Since this is right here, I think I'm going to use the Makeup Forever face palette. I'll go into like these two as bronzer contour. Yeah, so like, okay. Let me get his age, because everybody is old enough to know better. I'm just put it out there like that. Everybody's old enough. Where's my sister talking about? Let me find it. Okay. 28. Okay. It doesn't seem like they even give his name, but he's a 28-year-old Korean citizen, and he was trying to smuggle some stuff out of Peru. So he goes to the airport and these eagle-eyed, like, TSA folks are like, some don't look right on him. Like, why his stomach look all swollen? And it doesn't seem like it's, you know, it could have been IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. It could have been so many things, but they're like, we're just gonna check. Because around his midsection looks real swollen and it doesn't look like it should be, right? So I guess they pull home dude aside and they're like, bud, we're gonna search you. When I tell you something, let me tell you, this man he was trying to smuggle in tarantulas. Yup. This might be the worst one I have heard. Because there have been people smuggling snakes. There have been people like smuggling gold in their rectum. The lady who put a whole bunch of the little cartridges for the Nintendo DS in her brassiere. Like, there's been a lot of stuff, right? There were turtles. Like, there's been lots of stuff. But never have I ever thought anyone would do something like this. Not like I thought the other ones. The other ones kind of almost make a bit more sense to me. This one, because let me tell you how many. He had each tarantula, let's just call him TTs. No, that don't sound right. We're just gonna call them tarantulas. He had each one in a Ziploc bag, and then he had these bad boys, like, strapped to his body with 2 girdles. So listen, I think I have... So he took a pair of Spanx and just like, no! He took a pair of Spanx, or I assume. And maybe it's one of the full body ones. Strapped those, how? Who helped him? Why am I talking about who helped him? Who came up with it? But that's not all. He had 35 juvenile tarantulas, 285 young tarantula specimens. I don't know what that means. Is it when it's a specimen? Is that something different? That's not all. He had 110 centipedes. That's not it. And 9 bullet ants. I don't know what a bullet ant is, but it sounds like I don't want to meet one. I do not know how this man thought that he... Sir, how long did it take? Child, it take a good 10, 15 minutes to put on some Spanx, let alone put them on over, how much is this? Like almost 500 creatures? I don't even, and now they're like, now these creatures, I guess they don't call them creatures, insects, are being cared for by like the wildlife preserve or something. So could you imagine getting that call if you work at the wildlife preserve and you know it's probably in the middle of the night and they're like, yeah, so we just, like, you should probably get down here. We just confiscated a whole bunch of insects. And you're just like, okay, whatevs. What are they? Tarantulas. I just feel like this is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Apparently it's a super lucrative business. Like, okay, probably. I get it. Like I said, things are expensive. I understand, but I think that's taking it way too far. I think that's taking it further than it needs to go. It really is. You know, and he's 28, so his brain just kind of developed. But I can't keep giving that excuse for people. I'm going to use this for blush as well. I'm starting to use this actually more than I thought I would. I'm just going to mix these over here. Like, no, who, like, listen, I I'm realizing, I guess I've realized this a while ago, TSA, like, you would just come home every day and have story upon story upon story. I mean, when you're like sitting at the table and being like, roses and thorns. What were your roses of the day? What were your thorns? And I don't even know where I would put this one. The situation is ridiculous. Oh my God, if you had to handle them. No. This is not what I signed up for. I signed up to pat people down and look at what is in their luggage. I have not signed up to remove these things from someone's person. No. So you don't even know what you're going to encounter as a TSA agent. Listen. You might encounter gold in somebody's rectum, little cartridges in somebody's bra, and I feel like some of these, they're really not leaving. It's unfair to the rest of us, because with the cartridges, the DS cartridges, they were like, she looked really busty. So now when the rest of us busty folk go to the airport, like, now you're leaving us open to searches, okay? Because if that's all they're looking for, being busty and anxious, like, hi. But I can't even imagine, like, no. Y'all don't pay enough for this. You don't, okay? You don't. It's not okay. It's really just not. It's not okay. You don't pay enough. You don't pay enough for this. Like, I have to come to work prepared for any and everything. And I guess typically you have to anyway. But, and then also the people behind you, now they're going to be held up, okay? What if one of them had escaped? They're in Ziploc bags. And aren't you squishing them if you have two girdles on? How you buy a girdle? Like, it's just so many things that they smart for not putting his name there. They smart. Because honestly, if I knew any of these people, I would actually just want to know, like, walk me through your process. Like, walk me through the process of deciding that this is what you wanted to do. I just feel like people don't think things through. Why would you think that this would work? Like, did you consult with anyone? Y'all really thought this was gonna work. I'm gonna mix these two shades. The black shade is Timeless, and this kind of maroony shade is Lust. Actually, first, I'm gonna take this Danessa Myricks My Kit Co. Number 17 brush. And I'm mixing them together. I'm just so through. I don't know. I don't know what has happened. Are we just more aware of things these days? Like, oh yeah. People are not okay? I don't know. I'm going to take these same two shades and put them on my lower lash line. Just full on ridiculous. Like, it just makes me angry. Like, again, I am not encouraging crime. I am saying that if you're going to commit one, do it right. So that I don't end up talking about you. Because I will. I really will. I'm waiting for the day that I know someone that would make my week. Oh my god, I'd be like, do you want to be, like, featured? Like, just tell us what's going on. Like, maybe you can't talk about the trial, but, like, walk us through everything. I told myself I was going to put stuff back as I went, but I don't do that. I think I'll go into the shade Glamorous. And this is a pretty old Blend Bunny Cosmetics brush. I think I saw that they're coming out with yet another palette, but that the pans are going to be removable, which has been what I've been hoping for quite some time. These aren't my favorite brushes. I actually don't feel like they pick things up very well. Why is somebody outside? Oh, and I know people wanted an HOA update. Y'all, they canceled. The meeting was supposed to first of all, I don't know what time it was supposed to start. Because oftentimes it starts at 6:45, but they be telling people 6:30. So my conspiracy theory self is thinking they want people to sign on at 6:30, and then they want people to be like, oh, are we not meeting? And then they want people to leave. So that when 6:45 comes around, they're like, okay, so everybody left. But no, some of us will wait. We will wait the 45 or the 15 minutes. So it was maybe, I swear it was about 6 o'clock. I swear it was. And there was an email, and it's like, first of all, it's not even bold in the subject. It's just like announcements is what it says or something. First little one, number 1, HOA meeting is canceled. Stay, like, be on the lookout for a new date. And then they have the audacity to be like, we are reinstating towing. So please make sure that your car is properly, like, registered and everything. Okay. I remember a couple months ago when y'all were acting like if we didn't have stuff together, like, that, you know, our car wouldn't be there in the morning. That is a lip liner from LA Girl Shockwave Nude Liner in Chai Latte. I actually really like this. They have a couple of shades of the nude liner, and LA Girl is relatively affordable, and they have really good stuff. And this is A Dose of Colors lip gloss in Spill the Deets. I really like their lip glosses and their liquid lipsticks. What I don't like is that, like, I feel like they get rid of the colors really quickly. I also wonder how they're doing as a business. I hope they stick around because I really do like their formulas. And then I would finish everything off with my Charlotte Tilbury powder, which I have come to remember how much I love, but I'm just going to use that for when I'm not just at home doing my makeup. And I'm going to use my NARS Soft Matte Powder. This is in the shade Offshore, and this is the one I tend to use to set my makeup. So you can see I've got pan in it. I have some of the other shades as well. Okay, so here's the look. I was gonna maybe take my head wrap off and see how things are laying down, but nope. I must not, because my hair doesn't lay down. It just goes but yeah, here's the finished look. I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Let me know what you think of these stories. What did we have? We had the dude who did the pillowcase bank robbery. We had the guy in the bear suit. And then we had the guy smuggling insects. Was there anything else? I don't remember. There's just so many stories floating around in my head. But let me know what you think, because I'm curious. Also, there will be another video at some point, maybe in a couple days. We'll see. I'm just trying to like get my life together and just, you know, save the energy that I have, which is not much. Anyway, I hope that some of this was helpful. I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I'm saying that again because it needs to be said. I would love it if you like the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.